With just 13 days until voters cast their ballots, proponents of traditional marriage are working to rally support. 17's Tim Callahan was there when a statewide tour bus rolled into town.
Robin, is undoubtedly one of the most talked about issues in California. Supporters of Prop 8 say it's all about protecting traditional marriage, while opponents say it's all about equal rights. With less than 2 weeks until election days, both sides are pulling off the gloves and driving home their issues with voters.
Couples is the same thing as marriage between
Dozens who support Proposition 8 gathered at St. Francis of Assisi Church in central Bakersfield this afternoon. It was all part of the Prop 8 bus tour. The bus has traveled up and down the state in the past few weeks, holding similar rallies. Those in attendance said they believe marriage is between a man and a woman and think if Prop 8 is not passed, it would negatively affect public schools.
I support traditional marriage. I support democratic values. The Supreme Court of the state of California has overruled the will of the people. I think improperly overruled the will of the people. I want to see that reestablished.
I love my family, and I want them and my grandchildren, I want them to be raised in a manner that they're taught correct principles and not forced to learn something that is totally against my feelings.
You know, what we've seen for the past 3 weeks, the past month, is they're mounting a campaign of lies and falsehoods, foisting this upon the people of California, using children as a human shield in a shameful way to try to obscure what Proposition 8 really does, which is eliminating fundamental rights for thousands of everyday working Californians.
Now, after the rally, some opponents of Prop 8 showed up with signs in hand trying to drive home their message, and some met with resistance. The rally turned into a demonstration on the streets of Bakersfield this afternoon, and coming up on 17 News at 6, we'll have more on two sides clashing in this afternoon's rally, and we'll also hear from those opponents of Proposition 8.
If passed, Prop 8 would add an amendment to the California Constitution, making same-sex marriage illegal. It would also overturn what some call an outrageous decision made by 4 Supreme Court judges.
Thank you very much. You are trying to
It's what brought Prop 8 opponent Jason Perez out to the rally. At times, he had to fight his way through dozens of Prop 8 supporters, but he says his hard work is paying off.
The state is deeply divided. Both sides have to admit that. And whatever we think about the issue of marriage for same-sex couples, we can all agree that it's wrong to take away fundamental rights from our friends and our neighbors.
I see no reason that we should take away the fundamental right to get married for people who want to get married, have families, live a strong, healthy life together.
Debate aside, the decision will be made by the voters come November 4th.
And the protection of the definition of marriage.
Now, over the past few weeks, support for Prop 8 has been climbing in the polls. According to the Public Policy Institute of California, nearly 44% of voters support Prop 8, while 52% are against it. Tammy?
One of this year's hot-button issues on the ballot, Prop 8, but it seems that it's the commercials about the proposition that are on voters' minds. This afternoon, the Yes on 8 bus tour stopped by St. Francis Church in downtown Bakersfield. The goal? To drum up support for the proposition, which, if passed, would amend the Constitution to read marriage equals one man and one woman. Supporters of the bill say they are not trying to keep anyone from living their lives together, but that they don't need to change the definition to do it. Opponents shadowing this bus tour say recent commercial ads claiming that second-grade teachers will be forced to teach gay marriage in class are scare tactics and a distortion of the facts. But residents we talked to seem to disagree.
I don't want other people in the schools saying to my child, this is okay, when I teach them otherwise.
What kids will be learning if Proposition 8 passes is the same as what kids learn now. And let's be honest about what they're learning in kindergarten. What they're learning in kindergarten is about shapes and colors and how to read and how to play nice with each other.
Bakersfield is one of many cities that the Yes on 8 group plans to visit. Other locations for rallies include Modesto, Chico, Fresno, and Indio near Palm Springs. Meanwhile, a recent poll actually shows Proposition 8 trailing as we head into the final days until the November election. Prop 8 was supported by 44% of the almost 1,200 likely voters questioned by the Public Policy Institute in a telephone survey conducted last week. 52% opposed it. The poll has a margin of error of plus or minus 3 percentage points. The survey also found only lukewarm voter support for 2 other initiatives. Proposition 4 would require parental notification before most minors could get an abortion, and Proposition 11 would strip state legislators of the power to draw their own districts.
The stolen campaign sign epidemic has now reached both sides of the Proposition 8 debate. First, it was the yes on Prop 8. Now, apparently, it is the no on Prop people being victimized. ABC 23's Christine Din is in our studio with one victim's tale. Christine?
Todd, all's fair in love and politics, especially when it comes to vandalizing yes and no on Prop 8 signs. A spokesman for the No on 8 campaign told ABC 23 vandalism and thefts of their signs are happening all over the state. Here in Bakersfield, Lee Yoakum claimed last night somebody took her No on Prop 8 sign from her front yard and shredded it. They then banged on her door and left the sign at her doorstep.
I don't think this was kids making a prank or a joke out of this. I think this is an adult trying to send out a hate message.
It's a tempting target when you see a sign out there and there's nobody to stop you from taking it. It's not really it's kind of a cowardly thing to do, I suppose, but we have to remember that we all have a right to say what we want to say. You know, this is a free country and the state is very evenly divided.
Yoakum said her bumper sticker for No on Prop 8 was also ripped off her car, but she said those thefts and vandalisms won't stop her from supporting No on Prop 8. Meanwhile, the No on Prop 8 campaign is urging supporters on both sides to stop these illegal acts and remain respectful and calm. In studio, Christine Din, ABC 23.
Emotions continue to run high over Proposition 8. That's the one that would amend the California Constitution to limit marriage as only between a man and a woman. One case of vandalism, however, appears to have gone even further. 29 Eyewitness News reporter Jose Gaspar is joining us live from Northwest Bakersfield with more on this story. Jose.
Lisa, you know, there are a lot of strong feelings on the issues and the candidates who are running for office. And one way to express those feelings is, of course, by putting up a political sign. But as we've been reporting, many signs are being stolen or vandalized. In one instance last night, not only did someone destroy a No on Proposition 8 sign from a homeowner in Rosedale, but whoever did it took it up a notch by then kicking the door of the home and leaving the sign at the doorstep. Lee Yoakum is a gay person who says she has a right like anybody else to freely express her opinion without fear of retribution.
It's very scary for me. It's makes me now I have an understanding of why a lot of people are discouraged on putting up No on Prop 8 signs, because they are, scared that either their house may be egged or something as scary as this might happen.
The theft and vandalism of political signs is also happening against those who favor Proposition 8. In one neighborhood, neighbors found several of their Yes on 8 signs destroyed. If there's one thing people on both sides of this controversial issue can agree on, is that all views should be allowed to be freely expressed.
You don't have to agree with someone, but you have to respect their right to express their opinion. And it wasn't anything vulgar. It just said, vote yes on 8.
Bakersfield police tell me they've gotten about 20 calls from people complaining that their signs have either been vandalized and or stolen. Proposition 8 seems to have another effect on the local election as well. It's perhaps one reason why we have a record number of registered voters this year in Kern County. Reporting live from Southwest Bakersfield, Jose Gaspar. Lisa, now back to you in the studio.
Jose, thank you.